Have you been on the lookout for a one-stop shop for all motorsports content from Formula One, IMSA, INDYCAR, NASCAR, sim racing, everything in between? Well, I'm happy to say ATYL Media is the place for you. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, my name's Taylor Kitchen and welcome to ATYL Media, where we do motorsports media your way. And I bet you're wondering, what does that mean, doing motorsports media your way? What is ATYL Media? Who's all involved? And I'm definitely going to answer all of those questions. But before I do, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and of course, share this channel with your friends and family and all the motorsports lovers in your life. But of course, let's start off with the foundation of where did the idea of ATYL Media come from? Who are we? ATYL Media, or Above the Yellow Line Media, is an expansion of my single podcast show. And the foundation of Above the Yellow Line for me was to build community within the NASCAR realm. And that community building foundation that we have with Above the Yellow Line is something I wanted to expand into the broader aspect of all motorsports, with all motorsports content creation. So Above the Yellow Line Media is all about community building, reporting things in a fresh new way with journalistic roots, so you know you are getting factual information from sources that you trust, as well as just pushing content into the future and just doing things differently. And we're doing this all under one banner that is ATYL Media. We're making content that is fun, collaborative, informative, statistical, analytical, historical. All of this content all in one place with the series that you all follow the most. And under the ATYL Media banner, I've assembled a team of content creators that I feel really push the envelope of what motorsports content creation can be and currently is. And all of these fantastic content creators I've had the opportunity to collaborate with or work with over the past 2 years. And I really loved what they brought to the table, and I think you're going to love it too. With that said, I think it's time to meet the faces of ATYL Media, who you're getting your content from, what that content is, and also how you can get involved, so stay tuned. Starting off with Track Limits, run by John DeRugeris, or AKA the Motorsports Enthusiast. I met John through collaborations on TikTok, and I really was drawn to the command he had over his content and the analytical nature of that content. He does incredible NASCAR content, but I was really drawn to his content about Formula One, some IMSA stuff that he's done. He did it in a way that was very approachable and just really fresh, and that's something I really wanted to bring into the ATYL Media fold. So with his show Track Limits with the Motorsports Enthusiast, he's focusing on the world of Formula One, previewing the race weekends, recapping the race weekends, telling you all the latest Formula One news. That is going to be his specialty with us here at ATYL Media, and I cannot wait to finally bring you all Formula One content because I know this is something you guys have been wanting for a very long time. John also has ideas for future content on this channel that we're going to explore, but for now, we are excited to bring you Track Limits, a reimagined show that we did have running in like 2022 that we are bringing back and excited to bring to ATYL Media. Next up, let's talk about our Motorsports History show, Runnin' Retro, brought to you by Ben Branscombe. And you know Ben from the ATYL live show, so he's not a new face to everybody, but he's taken on a new role along with being in the ATYL live shows. He also signed up to take on our history show. Ben has done some historical videos before, whether it's on his personal YouTube channel or just through some ideas that he's brought my way, and I really like his approach to the history type of content. He wants to make content about NASCAR and motorsports history in general that you guys have never heard of before. We've heard the same old stories over and over, but either how can we tell those stories from a different angle that still matters and still makes sense, but also how can we dive deep into stories that you guys have never heard of before and give you guys brand new content. Ben's videos are engaging, they feel relaxed, and it's kind of like you're talking to a friend about NASCAR history, which is awesome. Something else too is Ben has some spunk to him, so there's a lot of personality into these videos that I'm very excited for you all to see. Runnin' Retro will be on the ATYL Media channel about once a month, but there are ways for you all to get involved with that show as well, so again, stick around to the end to learn more. Next up, you might recognize this guy from TikTok from some of his iRacing streams. We're talking about Big Duke of Big Duke Sim Racing. He is joining the ATYL Media platform to stream some of his iRacing leagues on our platform. He also has a show that we're going to announce in January coming up that's going to bring more of the iRacing world into what we do here at ATYL Media, and I am so excited about it. Big Duke and I met on LinkedIn about a year ago, and through just kind of a turn of events in projects that we were working on outside of ATYL Media and our own individual content, we were brought back together. And I think he has such an infectious energy. And also just like, I mean, you look at his TikTok and you look at his profile, And you're like, who is this guy? What does he do? He brings some sort of wonder to him as well. He's just super engaging to watch. When you're tuning into his live streams, he engages in great conversation, and he's a welcoming presence that I wanted to bring onto this platform. So I'm so excited to have him, and I'm so excited that he's going to be kind of leading the charge on our sim racing and iRacing content. Let's take a step back though from the virtual world and put ourselves back in the real world, but at the grassroots level. I am so excited to welcome Buddy Pulley to the ATYL Media team. I met Buddy on Twitter a few years back, and then we met at the racetrack, and his energy is infectious, and that translates into his content. His content is fun, it's different, it's lighthearted, but it's very informative about the short track scene, and that coverage is something that I feel I've been missing across the board in a major way, and that's something I wanted to bring into ATYL Media. Not only is Buddy going to be focusing on the short track scene and elevating the drivers, the crews, etc., and all their stories, but he's going to be focusing on the communities surrounding these short tracks, and I think that's coverage that we haven't had yet. He has some bold but incredible ideas that I'm excited to help him execute with his show on tour, and I cannot wait to give you guys a fresh perspective on the short track scene with Buddy Pulley in his show on tour. Let's shift gears and talk about INDYCAR. I've gotten into INDYCAR a lot over the past 2 or 3 years, and I owe that a lot to Alex Anderson, aka New Gaiden, on social media with his show, breaking down everything about INDYCAR, and I wanted to bring his expertise over to ATYL Media to head his own INDYCAR show, which we will be announcing very soon, so stay tuned for that. I feel like a broken record at this point, but I really wanted to bring people into ATYL Media that weren't only passionate about what they do and do a good job at making content, but I also wanted to bring people in that had an infectious energy that just drew you into their content, made you want to learn more about not only them, but the series that they talked about. So INDYCAR might not be a series that you all watch, but I think Alex can really draw you into the series and give you content that's super informative and bite-sized to learn about everything you need to know in a very short amount of time. So I'm excited to have Alex bring a show to us in 2025 focusing on INDYCAR. More about that announced soon. All right, let's bring it back to NASCAR, kind of the foundation of Above the Yellow Line and ATYL Media. I was so excited to bring in Sal Nicosia, or AKA Slide Job Sal, to work more on our NASCAR coverage, particularly at the Xfinity Series level, but also covering all our bases across the Cup Series, the Truck Series, and dabbling in some ARCA coverage as well here and there. Sal's a content creator I met on TikTok, and I actually just started watching his live streams that he did in the morning. Maybe he would just be talking to his audience. Sometimes he would be doing iRacing, sim racing, sometimes maybe racing in like NASCAR Heat 5 or something like that. But the way that he captivated his audience and the way that he spoke to his audience, again, felt like you were talking to a friend. Eventually, I moved from his live content to the content he did focusing on NASCAR news, and I loved the way he presented the news. He had some opinions in there, he had a lot of facts in there, but he presented it in a way that just felt really refreshing to me. I wanted to bring Sal in for that fresh perspective he had on NASCAR and motorsports news content, as well as just his passion for covering the sport as well. Sal will be hosting a morning show on Tuesdays. For those of you early birds who can listen to some NASCAR content earlier in the day, Sal is your guy. He's also going to be focusing on some short form news content for us here at ATYL Media. So if you see some shorts, you might be seeing Sal a lot on those short form platforms for us here on YouTube, but very excited to bring him into the fold. That brings me to the ATYL live shows. Yep, that's right. We're still going to be going live, except in 2025, we're going to be going live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the same crew you already know and love, Dom, Adam, Ben, Rob, and myself. We're going to structure the show a little bit differently next year just to have it flow a little bit better, but also get to a lot more motorsports content pieces during that show to give you all the most informative live show that you guys see. So the whole ATYL live crew is staying here. You all know Ben, of course, has his own show, Runnin' Retro, so I'm very excited for him to take that on as well as continuing with us with the ATYL live shows. Rob Branding is sticking around, and he's going to be the head of creative design here at ATYL Media. His whole design and philosophy has been the basis of all of our branding, and I've fallen completely in love with it, so I'm excited to continue working with him on the creative direction of ATYL Media moving forward. Adam Lucas will continue to be on the ATYL live show as well, and he's going to step into a communications role, as well as working on our history and statistics within the NASCAR space. You all know Dom Joseph as the encyclopedia of Above the Yellow Line, and with ATYL Media, that's not going to change. You're going to see his stats on a weekly basis. He's going to head our statistics and our history for NASCAR and Formula One coverage. And of course, last but not least, you know me, I'm Taylor Kitchen. I'm steering the ship, and I'm continuing with my show, Above the Yellow Line, along with ATYL Live. Above the Yellow Line might look a little different next year for reasons I can't get into at the moment, but it might look a little different. But I am very excited to continue bringing the latest on all your NASCAR Cup Series news, talking to the folks at the track, the drivers, the crews, the teams, everyone in between, to give you the best NASCAR Cup Series coverage possible in a little bit of a different and reinventive way in 2025, and I'm excited to get into that when I can. But above the yellow line, ATYL Live are not going anywhere. We're just now under the banner of ATYL Media, and I am so excited to get you guys the content you've been waiting for. As for more content you can expect here on ATYL Media that isn't a show, we're going to have a lot of content that just falls under the ATYL Media banner, like a Collector's Corner show talking about die-cast NASCAR merchandise. We're going to do tier lists, movie reviews, book reviews within the motorsports world. So we definitely have more creative content brewing that I'm excited to give to you all. Definitely diving deeper into the diecast world, because you all know I love this. I love the world of diecast. So being able to talk to you all more about that, I am so excited for. In terms of our social media presence, for those of you wondering, my personal social media pages on Blue Sky, Threads, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, none of those are changing for me. You can still find me at _TaylorKitchen_ or at above the yellow line on all of the social media platforms. But we do have social media platforms for ATYL Media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and of course this platform, YouTube, so make sure to give us a follow. On my personal platforms, though, for my social media, the content might change slightly. You're going to see more behind the scenes content, maybe at track content from me that we will share with ATYL Media. But the behind the scenes content, I'll definitely explain in January. I think you're going to absolutely love it. But my content for my personal social media pages will change ever so slightly, but you will still get the great content that you know and love from myself at above the yellow line, just under the ATYL Media banner. As for the future of ATYL Media, what does that look like and what can you all expect? Well, we still have some cast members and shows and partners of ours to announce in 2025, so stay tuned for that news coming in January. We will update this video at that point as well, so we have our full cast and flagship show lineup to you all in one video. As for the collaborative nature of ATYL Media, currently our team is unfortunately full, but that's not stopping us from having conversations, reaching out to, and giving advice to motorsports content creators. Again, we want this platform to be a collaborative space for all motorsports content creators, and we still want to work with you. With that said, our Motorsports History show, Run and Retro, offers the perfect opportunity for us to collaborate with several incredible motorsports content creators out there. It's the perfect way to collaborate with us at ATYL Media while also sharing what makes you passionate about the sport and the moments that made you a motorsports fan. So to get involved in that, make sure to visit the description and the links in the description below. I think that about does it for this video. We are so excited to start making some incredible content for you all here on ATYL Media. Of course, make sure to subscribe to this channel, share the channel with your friends and family and all the motorsports lovers in your life, and make sure to give all of our content creators a follow on social media. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this introduction video of ATYL Media. My name's Taylor Kitchen, and until next time, I'll see ya. Bye.